trying to decide if I should keep up with the tradition of crying or if I should break it. We'll see what happens. First off, I would like to thank all of you for coming, whether you were invited by either family or whether you're just a member of Vici or whether you came in just because you saw the church doors open. Thank you for being here. High school graduation is the end of, well, only a portion of my schooling. I know my education is far from complete with college and hopefully many years of life ahead. But I do believe that this ceremony does represent something of great significance. It represents the grace of God in our lives and the work of many years on the part of our parents and families. Their constant encouragement and dutiful attention to every aspect of our education has made this night possible, literally. Without it, there would have been no Vici graduation this year. My family has had to deal with many difficulties regarding my education, specifically my sin nature, and I'm grateful for their unfailing love at those times. Thank you, Dad, for faithfully reading the Bible and other books to us in the evenings. I love spending time with you, whether it's playing ping pong, fishing, or fixing something around the house. Zach, thank you for always inspiring me to strive for excellence in my studies and for being an awesome big brother. I'm always encouraged by your incredible work ethic. Mom, you have been an integral part of my maturing process. You've never given up teaching me about God and my purpose in life. Whether I was doing my math or taking out the trash, you always told me that what I was doing was not for you, it was ultimately for God. Thank you, Mom. Graduation represents a step for us into a world of not just more school, but a world of considerable responsibility as well. People will question our faith, and we will be faced with many misconceptions about Christianity. The most important task for us and all Christians, however, is to depict the correct image of God to a lost world. God. When that word is spoken, it brings up varying concepts into people's minds. Some might think of an impersonal universal force as God. Others, an angry God seeking revenge on man. A.W. Tozer put it this way, quote, "What comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us," unquote. But why is what we think about God so critical? Why should it be a top priority? Ultimately, is because a thought is based off of past experiences. What you think about God is the culmination of past experiences with God, whether they be positive or negative. This is one reason why I believe that many people have an improper perception of God. God has revealed himself in his word to mankind. But when men meddle with God's word, it can result in an impressionistic type of God. A God that is blurred. A God that may not hold all the answers. A God that is loving only at times. This experimental tampering with the person of God has led to the downfall of many men and women alike. We are all susceptible to it. I am, you are. That is why my mother and father were so careful in teaching me that the ultimate source of truth comes from God's word. Anything that I read, anything that I watched, anything that I listened to was only true if it agreed with God's revelation. My parents taught me to be what is called in the Bible a Berean. In Acts 17:11 it speaks of these people. Quote, "They received the word with all eagerness, examining the scriptures daily to see if these things were so." They examined the scriptures. They didn't trust what they had been hearing until they checked the word. Our past experiences with God need to be based off a true and literal understanding of him that is revealed to us in his word. Well, once we have that proper perspective of God, all other aspects of life become clear. C.S. Lewis once stated, quote, "I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else," unquote. In our modern era, people with improper conceptions of God's nature are able to skew their worldview to fit their own desires. We have seen this in America through the redefinition of marriage, abortion, and legalization of recreational drugs. Americans are quick to experiment with different ideas on morality. Sure, America might be a nation that claims it is under God, but what God? Merriam-Webster defines the word under as, quote, "in or into a condition of subjection, subordination," unquote. Well, what does that mean? It means that America is not a nation under the Christian God, but a nation under the God of the whims of the citizens. A God that condones murder. A God that denies absolutes. If America truly desires to be a nation under God, capitalized, then she needs to return to a biblical understanding of who God is and what he teaches. George Washington proclaimed in his farewell address, quote, "Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. In vain would that man claim the tribute of patriotism, who should labor to subvert these great pillars of human happiness, these firmest props of the duties of men and citizens. The mere politician, equally with the pious man, ought to respect and cherish them. And let us with caution indulge the supposition that morality can be maintained without religion." Unquote. All of morality is maintained in religion, is contained in religion. That is why C.S. Lewis made his claim that, quote, "By it I see everything else." Unquote. Politics become clear. Life's purpose becomes clear. Morality becomes clear. Every aspect of life becomes clear because Christianity's light illuminates everything else. This understanding of life ultimately comes with a proper understanding of the one who made that life. So, what are we to do then? Seeing the corruption all around us, this world can appear a dire place. Each of us needs to examine our lives and see who our God is. If we want the world to turn to the God of Christianity, we need to examine our own lives first. Are we worshiping a God of our own imagination, desires, or will? Or are we worshiping the God that has revealed his character to us? The only way for change to occur is if it occurs in the hearts and minds of individuals around the world. Once we have evaluated our own lives, we need to spread God's truth to the ends of the earth. Jesus said in John 14:6, quote, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Unquote. We need to show the lost the way so that they can find the truth and the life. Today, it is only by God's grace that I can stand before you. It is only by God's grace that my mother decided to homeschool. It is only by God's grace that he has revealed himself to me. Now it is up to me, to all of you, to the class of 2014, to show him to the world. Thank you.